Well, I'm honored to sit here today with the Montana Secretary of State, Christy Jacobson, and we've got a great partnership with the Secretary of State's office, and I've known Christy for a long time, right? And that's one of the great things about this state is this is a relationship state, right? You hang around Montana long enough, and pretty soon you start making relationships with people all over the state. And Christy and I have known each other for a long time, and so welcome. We're honored to have you here. Thank you for your support, and thank you for the partnership that we have. And so we're going to talk a little bit today about the culture that you've developed in the Secretary of State's office. And it's pretty remarkable when you think about the employee engagement that you have at the Secretary of State's office, how you work with the employees. Can you talk a little bit about that and expand upon how you're engaging with employees? Because I think there's lessons that we can all learn in the business and in the government arena when it comes to engaging with your employees.
Yeah, so just our work culture is something that I'm very proud of, and one of the greatest accomplishments that we've had at Secretary of State. And we really have intentional focus around serving our businesses, serving the voters, and all citizens in Montana. And we wouldn't be able to do it with an amazing work culture. And the employee engagement is something that we know and feel every day, but it's also super important to actually measure the level of engagement. And so every year we have an employee engagement survey, and the results have been quite remarkable. We have the highest level of engagement even nationally. And what that means is that our employees show up every day and they go above and beyond what's described in their job description. And they give that discretionary effort when nobody's watching. They go above and beyond. And that's just something I'm very proud of.
Great. And one of the things when we talk about the business side of the work that the Secretary of State's office does is businesses come and register their business with the Secretary of State. We get great feedback from the businesses that we deal with about the sort of engagement that they've got, right? The customer service, if you will. Once you have a business, that's usually one of the first stops, and it's one of the first exposures that you have to the state of Montana is registering with the Secretary of State's office, whether that's by phone or email. You're communicating with a lot of these new businesses and established businesses on a regular basis. Can you talk about how it is that you're pursuing customer service as a goal and some of the things that you focus all of the organization and the staffing at the Secretary of State's office towards customer service?
Yeah, absolutely. So it starts with hiring the right people, and that's something we're very intentional about doing, that we hire employees that have the right beliefs and they have a servant's heart, and they know that we're here to partner with the business community, and government is here to serve others. It's not about us, it's about the business community, and we're there to make it easy for businesses to get started. So we've had a record number of businesses in the state. All of the business journeys start with our office, and we've been able to do more with less. We have half the employees than we started with. And we measure our results, and we create a clear vision of what success looks like, and we make sure that all of our employees understand the why we're doing what we're doing and how we're serving. And we measure our results. We are very intentional about our goals every year, and we hold each other accountable collectively and individually to make sure that we are attaining all of those results. So again, we've done more with less, half the employees. And along the way, we've measured the number of businesses that we've served, how we serve those businesses. We listen to the interactions that we have, our employees have with the staff. We have goals and how quickly we answer the telephone and how quickly we respond and how accurately we respond to the business community when they contact our office for any questions that they may have. And again, just measurement and personal and collective accountability to making sure that we're attaining and reaching what we set out to do every year.
The Montana Chamber of Commerce has a strategic plan that was started in 2016. And we went to business leaders around the state and asked them, what should we as an organization focus on in order to improve the overall economy in Montana? And the one thing that came back to improve the business climate in Montana that we heard consistently from businesses was regulations. What can you do to lower regulations? And I know that this is an issue that's near and dear to Governor Gianforte's heart. You've also taken some steps to cut red tape at the Secretary of State's office. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So just even when it comes to registering a business, what initially took like 10 steps, we looked at what were things that we could get rid of to make it quicker and more efficient. We are the first Secretary of State to go completely digital with all of our business filings, which means as a business, you can access your business documents and our system 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and just making sure that it's easy and accessible, and that if you call our office, you get a live person within minutes. I want to give an example. We just got done paying our taxes, and we sent in the check, the large check to the IRS, and they wrote a letter and said we still owed money with interest, even though they had cashed the check. So it's up to us to contact the IRS, and we have been on hold for 2 different days for 4 hours. And that's just absolutely unacceptable. And here at the Secretary of State's office, we just make sure that we are available, we're serving the business community. Again, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We've cut fees, we've eliminated fees. And it's not that the dollar amount is large, but it's the principle that you see government grow, but you never see it actually reduced. And I think that's one of the partnerships that we have with the Chamber, just to make sure that it's easy to do business in the state of Montana. And cutting fees is part of that. So we've completely waived the 2024 annual report filing fees. We're going to be doing that next year. And then we've also cut the new business filing fees completely in half. And again, eliminating just the steps along the way. We've gone from 10 steps to 2 steps. And if you've filed your annual report with our business, and I've done that I come from a small business family. I filed the annual report for my parents' business. My son has a business. And the feedback we get is that it's just super easy, super efficient, and we're getting rid of processes and unnecessary steps along the way.
Let's touch on business growth in the state. And the last 3 years, we've seen record new business registrations in the state. It's an exciting time to be in Montana, to live in Montana, to do business in Montana. And you have announced at the Montana Chamber's Business Days at the Capitol, the last 3 years in a row, new records for registrations for new businesses.
Yeah.
So let's tell us what you're hearing from businesses on that front.
It's very exciting, and I think it's due to the Republican leadership and our awesome governor to just continue to be business friendly. And that's why we have a record number of businesses starting in the state. Every year we've had new growth, and that's something else that our office has done that had never been done previously, and that's measuring the growth that we have. So we have an economic heat map that shows all of the new businesses, where they start, when they start. We track and publish that data for all of you to use and access every month and every year, so you can go out and check out the heat map and see where the new businesses are starting. And again, it's just been getting government out of the way so businesses can grow and thrive. And I think that's solid leadership in our state, and the governor has done a remarkable job leading that charge, and I'm just honored to be part of that.
Great. And so as we get ready to wrap up here, you've touched on cutting the filing fees, and that's great news, and it adds up, right? We all know that businesses are faced with a number of various fees and licenses they have to do every year. You've cut that, and that's a real testament to the work that you've done and the efficiency that you've put in the Secretary of State's office. Can you tell us anything else that you'd like to share generally about the Secretary of State's office and your work since you've been there?
Yeah, just additional partnership with the governor's office on cutting the red tape. This week we're announcing that we're launching the the new administrative rules system with the Lieutenant Governor and our office under the governor's leadership. And we're part of that initiative, cutting the red tape. We're launching a new system, and again, just making it easier, getting rid of regulation, and easier for you to access the rules on any given day. And that's something that we'll be announcing this week too. So just another improvement. Where I think working at the Secretary of State, we're under continuous improvement. I think that's a quality that we require of all of our employees, to have an own it and solve it attitude, personal accountability, and continuous improvement. And that's just another step along the way, and something that we're announcing in partnership with Lieutenant Governor and Governor this week.
Great. Well, thank you, Christy. We appreciate your leadership, and I think we're seeing a great example of how there's been great teamwork throughout the state to see this Montana economy grow the way that we've seen it growing, and under your leadership, we've seen some great examples of your contribution to that. So thank you. Please join me in thanking Secretary of State Christy Jacobson.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Christy.